Ramen. Let's start with the noodle that took over the world. Ramen, thin, springy wheat noodles swimming in broth so deep it takes an entire day to build. But here's the thing, ramen isn't actually Japanese in origin. It came from China. Chinese immigrants brought wheat noodle soups to Japan in the early 1900s, and Japan did what Japan always does, it perfected it. The noodles are made from wheat flour, water, and something called kansui, an alkaline salt solution. That's what gives ramen noodles their signature yellow color and that satisfying chew. Without kansui, you just have plain wheat noodles. With it, you have ramen. There are four canon broth styles: shoyu, soy-based, dark and savory from Tokyo; shio, the lightest of all, salt-based and delicate from Hakodate; miso, thick, rich and bold, born in Sapporo; and tonkatsu, a creamy, cloudy pork bone broth from Fukuoka that simmers for up to 18 hours until the collagen breaks down completely into the liquid. Each style comes from a different region of Japan. They are essentially four completely different dishes sharing the same noodle. And the surprising fact, instant ramen, the $0, $25 packet sitting in dorm rooms across America, was invented by Momofuku Ando in 1958. In a Japanese poll, it was voted the greatest Japanese invention of the 20th century. It beat the bullet train. It beat karaoke. Spaghetti, the most recognized noodle on the planet. Long, thin, round, and made from just two ingredients: durum, wheat semolina, and water. Spaghetti is so simple it almost shouldn't work, but it does every single time. The word spaghetti literally means little strings in Italian, and the first written record of it dates back to 1154 AD, documented by Arab geographer Muhammad al-Idrisi while describing food in Sicily. Sicily, not mainland Italy. The Arabs brought dried pasta to the island during their rule, and it never left. Industrial production began in Naples in the 1800s with mechanical pasta presses that could extrude noodles at scale. The real secret is in the die, the metal plate the dough is pushed through. Bronze dies cut a rough, porous surface into each strand. That roughness is everything. It's what makes sauce cling instead of slide off. Diameter is standardized at 1/8 to 2 millimeters. It should be cooked al dente, firm to the bite, never soft, and it pairs best with light oil-based sauces or simple tomato, not cream. Italians would argue cream belongs nowhere near spaghetti, and the fact that will stop Americans mid-bite, spaghetti and meatballs, is not Italian. It's an American invention, created by Italian immigrants who had more meat access in the US than they ever did back home. In Italy, pasta and protein are two separate courses, always. The legendary 1957 BBC documentary showing Swiss farmers harvesting spaghetti from trees. Thousands of British viewers called in asking where to buy spaghetti plants. That actually happened. Udon. If ramen is the sprinter, udon is the sumo wrestler. Thick, white, pillowy wheat noodles, some of the widest in the world at up to 4 millimeters across. Where ramen is complex, udon is intentionally simple. The noodle is the point. Udon is believed to have arrived in Japan around 804 AD, brought back from China by a Buddhist monk named Kyukai. Today, Kagawa Prefecture on the island of Shikoku is the udon capital of the world, more udon shops per capita than anywhere on Earth. Locals eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A bowl costs under $2. The production is pure salt water wheat flour. The dough is kneaded traditionally by foot, with the full weight of a human body pressing down for consistent pressure that hands simply can't replicate. Then it rests, gets rolled flat, and is cut into thick strips. Because the flavor is so mild, udon is built to carry dashi, a broth made from kombu seaweed and dried bonito flakes. The noodle doesn't compete, it absorbs. It holds heat better than almost any other noodle, making it ideal for cold winters. It can also be served cold in summer or stir-fried as yaki udon. Here's what most people don't know. Traditional udon dough is still kneaded by foot in serious shops. The human body weight produces a pressure so even and so consistent that no machine has fully replaced it. Pho noodles, flat, silky, and almost weightless bon ph letter 1 EDF are the rice noodles at the heart of Vietnam's most iconic dish. And unlike most noodles on this list, they contain zero gluten. Made entirely from rice flour and water, steamed into thin sheets, then cut into flat 2 to 5 millimeter ribbons. Pho itself emerged in northern Vietnam in the late 1800s, most likely a fusion. French colonizers brought their pot au pho, a slow-boiled beef bone soup. Chinese immigrants brought their noodle traditions. Vietnamese cooks merged them, added star anise, cinnamon, charred ginger, and cloves, and built a broth that simmers for 6 to 12 hours. The noodles are soft and slippery with almost no chew, deliberately so. They are not the flavor, they are the vehicle. The broth carries everything. Hoisin and sriracha on the side, fresh Thai basil, bean sprouts, lime, and sliced chilies let the eater customize every bowl. After the Vietnam War, Vietnamese refugees brought pho to the United States. Today there are over 40,000 Vietnamese restaurants in America, and the majority are built around pho. What most Americans don't realize, Hanoi pho and Saigon pho are essentially different dishes. Hanoi's version is clean, minimal, subtle. Saigon's is sweeter, loaded with garnishes, and far more complex. Order the same dish in both cities and you won't believe they share a name. Soba dark, earthy, and nutty soba noodles are made from buckwheat, and buckwheat is technically not wheat at all, it's a seed. Related to rhubarb, naturally gluten-free in its pure form, and it produces a noodle unlike anything else on this list. Buckwheat has been cultivated in Japan for over 5,000 years, but soba noodle form emerged during Japan's Edo period in the 17th century. In Edo, what is now Tokyo, soba was the original street food. Fast, cheap, eaten standing up. Premium soba is called jewari 100% buckwheat, no wheat binder. It is extraordinarily difficult to make. Without gluten from wheat to hold the dough together, it crumbles at the slightest mistake. Master soba craftsmen train for years just to make jewari by hand consistently. Most commercial soba is 80% buckwheat and 20% wheat for stability. Soba's flavor is distinct, earthy, slightly mineral with a natural nuttiness. It holds up beautifully cold. Zaru soba, chilled noodles served on a bamboo tray, dipped into cold suyu broth, is the purest expression of what buckwheat can do. Every New Year's Eve in Japan, families eat tashikoshi soba, literally year-crossing noodles. The long strands symbolize longevity. Cutting them means cutting away the hardships of the past year. Glass noodles, they look like thin plastic. They cook into something translucent, almost invisible. And they taste like absolutely nothing. That is entirely the point. Glass noodles, also called cellophane noodles or bean thread noodles, are made not from wheat or rice but from pure starch. Mung bean starch in China and Thailand, sweet potato starch in Korea. Tapioca starch in Southeast Asia. Each produces a slightly different texture, but the result is always the same, a slippery, gelatinous, nearly transparent noodle. First documented in China's Song dynasty between 960 and 1279 AD, glass noodles spread across Asia along trade routes. Every country that received them developed their own version. Korea's dangmyeon, thick sweet potato glass noodles, became the base of japchae, a dish originally created for the royal court in 1608. Today japchae appears at every Korean holiday table. Because glass noodles have no flavor, they function as pure sponges. Drop them into a spicy Thai stir-fry and they absorb every drop of sauce. Add them to Chinese hot pot and they soak up the broth completely. They are the chameleon of the noodle world, all naturally gluten-free. No cooking required in most recipes, just soak in hot water and they're ready. Pad Thai noodles, narrow, flat rice noodles, 2 to 3 millimeters wide, stir-fried at extreme heat until the edges char slightly. The base of the most ordered Thai dish in America. And the noodle was invented by a government. In the 1930s, Thai Prime Minister Pleak Phibin launched a national campaign to build Thai identity and reduce rice consumption during wartime shortages. He needed a national dish. He promoted pad thai, rice noodles stir-fried with egg, tofu or shrimp, tamarind paste, fish sauce, and palm sugar, through propaganda posters, radio broadcasts, and street food carts funded by the state. It worked. Today, pad thai is Thailand's most exported dish globally, and the single most ordered item at Thai restaurants across the United States. The key to authentic pad thai is wok hai, the smoky, slightly charred breath that comes from a superheated wok cooking at temperatures a home stove can't reach. That char is the difference between pad thai and a noodle stir-fry. Without it, it's close. With it, it's the real thing. Pad thai is less than 100 years old. It was engineered, and it became one of the most beloved street foods on earth in under a century. LAMIAN, hand-pulled noodles, no machine, no extruder, just dough, 2 hands, and mathematics. Lamayan, literally pulled noodle, is one of the oldest noodle-making techniques in China, documented as far back as the Song dynasty. Lanzhou, a city in Gansu province, codified its signature beef noodle soup version in 1915, and it has remained largely unchanged since. The dough is high-gluten wheat flour mixed with water, rested until elastic, then stretched by hand. The craftsman pulls the dough apart, folds it, doubles it, and repeats. Each fold doubles the strand count. 1 fold makes 2 strands, 10 folds makes 1024, 20 folds makes over 1 million, each one thinner than a pencil lid. A trained master completes this in under 60 seconds. The texture is unlike any extruded noodle. Springy, silky, and with a snap that comes from being cooked and eaten immediately. Lamayan is never dried, never packaged, always fresh. Lanzhou beef noodle restaurants outnumber McDonald's locations in China. Over 50,000 shops serve this one dish daily. Pulling lamayan is considered a performance art. Visitors watch through open kitchen windows just to see it done. The noodle can be pulled into any shape, thick as rope, thin as thread, by controlling how many times the dough is stretched and folded. One dough, infinite noodles. All by hand, that's 8 noodles. 8 completely different ingredients, techniques, cultures, and centuries. And every single one of them still comes down to the same thing: flour, water, and someone who figured out how to make it extraordinary.